Hey everyone, it's Bernicia aka Kanye Flybug, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome, and if you're old here, welcome back. Please take this time to like, share, and subscribe. And let's get into this short but informative video. Um, so just a little update since I got my um, COVID vaccine. So the first shot I got, I had no reaction, no nothing. And again, this isn't to deter anyone. This is just my experience. So my second shot, I got it on Monday. That was Thursday. That was 4 days ago. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, that was 4 days ago. um, I was fine. I got it at like 9 a.m. or like 9:05. Um, got home around 10 from the hospital. Around 2:30, I started to get the soreness in my arm. And I was like, okay. And then around 4 o'clock, my arm really started getting sore. And I was like, oh man. So I was like, okay. So I went to work for my last shift of the evening or of the day. And I was I was a little bit tired, but I was okay. I was fine. So by the time I left there, well, actually, no. But right before I got to my second shift, I started to develop a headache, which turned into a migraine later. And that's not uncommon for me because I get migraines often. So that night, after I got home, I was like, oh my God, my brain was killing me. It's not the worst migraine I've ever had, but it was up there. So I'm like, okay. So, got home, had some dinner. My arm was really like sore. I was like, I couldn't even lift it. Like, okay. So I couldn't even lift my arm like this far. I couldn't lift it. I was like, oh my God, this sucks elephant balls. So, um, I went to bed. Um, I didn't actually take any Tylenol because my brain, I couldn't even think. I didn't even think about it. So, um, oh, and before that, so Matt had sent me to the store before I went to my second shift. And I was only home for like 15 minutes before I had to leave again to go to my second shift. So while I'm in the parking lot in King Supers, this man comes between my car and the car next to me with his cart and scrapes the side of my car. And it like rocks me. And I'm like, what the hell? So I get out with my mask on. And the guy, and I grabbed my phone because, like I said, when it comes to foolishness and fuckery, from now on, I'm going to be pulling out my phone and videotaping because this is some bull. I don't want to be put into a situation that it's a he said, she said. No, these are the facts. Look at the video. So the guy walks by and I'm so pissed. And so I look at the guy and see his pants are not on. So his ass is all out. And I'm like, wow. So, and he's a black guy, okay? And he didn't seem quite right, but because I was pissed, I didn't really notice it at that point. So I get out of my car, I slam the door, I go around the car to look at my car, and I'm like, there's some scratches, but it's not too bad. But still, there's scratches on my car that weren't there. My car is used, but shit, it's my car. Don't fuck up my car. Now, if I run it into something, that's different, but come on now. Y'all know how it is when it comes to your cars. So, I'm like, okay. So, he's parked right in front of me. So I come over to the side of my car, and so I'm looking and I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. So he takes his car, comes back. There's a guy, another black guy who's standing up out of his car because he saw the whole thing. And he stands there and he's just looking at me. And so the guy that hit my car comes around the car and he's about to climb into his car. And I'm like, hey, excuse me, hey, you scratched my car. You like literally rocked my car, dude. And so if he had said, oh, I'm so sorry, miss, or something like that, I would have still been mad. But I'm like, you know, because I mean, Matt can buff it out, and like, you know, I wouldn't say make it look new, but you know, make the scratch look a little better. So I'm not worried about that, but just the principle of you fucking up my car and just like Scooby Doo. So again, what pissed me off was he said, sorry. Really? 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 I was so mad. And that's when I saw his face and like heard his voice, that's when I noticed that he wasn't quite right. Like he was maybe on something or maybe drunk or something. I wasn't sure. But at that point, I decided that I'm not even going to try and get this guy's like information because it may not go well. But because I was still pissed off, I'm sorry, I went petty. I didn't care at that moment because I was like, really? You scratched my car and then you're just all like nonchalant, like, oh well, sorry. So I called him out and I literally cussed at him. And I said, I was like, you need to, I was like, you need to watch out where the fuck you're putting your fucking cart because you scratched my shit all up. And you need to pull up your fucking pants because nobody wants to see your ashy black ass. And you're making us all look bad. And I think I said motherfucker, but I wasn't sure. Don't quote me on that part, but the rest of it I said. And I was just like, I felt bad right after I said it. And then I was like, you know what? I said it. Own it. Just own it. And so he stood there and he just was looking at me. He was like, blink, blink. The guy in the car next to him started laughing and was like, but he was like, you could tell he was shocked because he was like, whoa, she just went off. And I just was like, and then people were looking and I was like, I don't care. I'm going in the store. This is some bullshit. So I went into the car and I was like, wow, I hope I don't end up on like the news. But that was some bullshit. You just hit somebody's car, damage somebody's property, and you're just like, oh well. Really? I don't care if you're high. Really? Stop getting high. Stop it. I was so mad at that point. But anyway, getting back to my reactions. So I get home. My head is raging. I can't really lift my arm. I'm like, this is some bull. I start having like, it was like the flu like went and smacked me in the face. And so I had I had like, you know, my joints were all like, they weren't like moving very fast. I was like, really? I was trying to walk, trying to go up our few little steps to our bedroom. And I was like, it was horrible. I was like, wow, I'm so glad this only lasts for like a day because this is some bullshit. So tried to go to sleep. Nope. I got zero sleep. I woke up at 1 because I had to pee. My God. Just trying to pee was like an Olympic workout. I thought I was like, I could have sworn there was like sweat coming down my face just trying to get out of bed because my muscles and my arm was like, nope, nope. Where you think you going, girl? I almost peed on myself. Twice. So I was like, no. So at like, I got up again at like 2 or 2:30 and I was like, oh, because I had to pee again. I was like, no. So of course Kitty got all like comfortable next to me. And so I had to keep waking him up and I'm pretty sure he was like, girl, what the fuck are you doing? I'm trying to sleep here. Well, I'm sorry, I have to pee here. So at like 3:40, I was like, I'm done. I'm sorry. So I called in from my job and I felt so bad because I don't ever call in, but I did. And so I called in from both my jobs. I was like, I'm sorry, I feel like crap. Didn't get no sleep. So I finally fell asleep and then I had to pee again. I was like, oh my God, what is happening? What is happening? So I like peed like 6 times that night. I was like, this is bull. Then I wake up and didn't really have to pee until later. So I woke up, took my vitamins. I took some Tylenol, some extra strength, 2 of them. I was like, this is bull. Matt was like, you need to take a shower. I was like, well, since I'm home today and I haven't washed my hair in like a week or 2 weeks actually, I need to get that done. From 10 a.m. to 6:18, I was doing my hair. It took me bloody over 8 hours to do my hair. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what the fuck? I've never had to do that before, and I'm so glad I don't have to do that again. I'm so glad. Yeah, I had to start driving because, everybody was getting in the car, and I was just like, yeah, I don't want to, like, be talking when other people are in the car. So, anyway, I was just like, I can't believe it took me over 8 hours to do my freaking hair. It's just ridiculous. But I'm glad that I got it done, and I'm glad that, the only reason why, of course, that it took me so long for me to get my hair done is because my arm was freaking hurting. And so, like, I put in the my pre-poo, and I could have sworn I had some that was left over. I was going to add the rest of my carrot juice to it, and I don't know what the fuck it is. I think Matt threw it away and didn't tell me, and I'm like, but I couldn't find it. And of course, it's not like I could move quick, so I'm like shuffling. I was shuffling throughout the house slowly. I felt like a snail. I felt so useless. I was shuffling through the house looking for my freaking container, and I couldn't find it. So I was like, so I crept up the stairs to the bathroom and got up all the stuff. I got, I made a little coffee. I had to get some. I have the oil, the honey that I use for my hair products in the pantry on the floor. I was not about to pull out that bin with all my oils in it and all that stuff. No. So the honey that we use for teas and stuff, I was like, give me a spoon. This is some bull. So I made the pre-poo, got it in my hair. My hands were all pink. It was hilarious. And I had made way more than I really needed. So I had to put it all back in the container. I was so frustrated. And so I was like, okay. So then, while I had the pre-poo in, I was like, well, let me shuffle and wash some clothes. And Matt was just like, what are you doing? Didn't I tell you? And I was like, I need to take a shower, but all my towels are dirty. So I had to wash my towels. I had to wash clothes. So I knew it was going to take me a while. So I was like, well, so I got everything cleaned, and that took a while. So I was actually able to do the laundry and do my hair that night. I was like, or that day. And I was like, So then, I ended up taking 3 hot showers that day. One when I rinsed out the pee-poo, the pre-poo. One when I rinsed out the pre-poo. 2 when I rinsed out the deep conditioner. And then 1 right before I went to bed. So I had 3 hot showers, and I was sitting there with my arm underneath the hot water, and it was scalding, but I was like, oh, this is great. So I felt so much, well, I didn't feel so much better, but I was like, oh, my arm, yay, maybe I'll be able to sleep tonight. So when you get out of the shower, and it's just felt so good, and sometimes when it's too hot, you're just your whole body is like, just go to sleep. That's how my body was. But I was like, no, you still have to oh, my face is all shiny. My goodness. I was like, I was like, I still gotta put in the leave-in and the styling and the oil and all this stuff and twist my hair. Girl, you got to do this. You know, get your life. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. I got this. It took me forever to do it. And this time I parted my hair in fours. I put leave-in in each section, and then every twist I would put on more leave-in, and then I would do every single one individually. And I've never done that before, so I don't know. The twist came out fairly well doing it that way, but I think I'm gonna untwist my hair tomorrow just so I can see how it looks. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so I took some more Tylenol, and I was like, okay. So, well, no, I didn't take more Tylenol just then. So, Matt was like, oh, let's watch some TV because you've been just watching lame stuff all day. So, I mean, I did watch like Indiana Jones. I watched Music and Lyrics. I watched, what else did I watch? I watched some other like romantic comedy because I could. Because I don't ever have time to watch anything else or like movies usually because I'm always at work. So I was like, hey. And then by the time I come home, usually Matt's like, babe, my back, I'm going to go lay down. It's like, oh. So after I watched the trial, because of course I watched the George Floyd trial, I have to. I have to. Got to have some justice up in here because this is some bullshit. Anyway, so I watched those things, and Matt was like, well, I'm going to watch some stuff that's not lame. I was like, oh, shut up. So he was watching The Expanse, and I actually saw like partial episode like yesterday, or a couple of partial episodes yesterday, and it was actually pretty interesting. And I saw like part of like the very first episode, and I was just like, nah, this doesn't seem super interesting. But now that I've seen some clippets from some of the other ones, they look interesting. So I'll have to actually go back to season 1 and start. And I'm pretty sure he's not going to care about restarting the series because he's a big ass dork. Anyway, so I went and took some Tylenol. That's when I took some Tylenol. After we had dinner. And I don't even remember because my brain was so foggy. I don't remember what we had for dinner. Tuesday night. I have no idea. All I know is I ate. I don't know how much. I have no idea. I don't remember what we ate. So that's when I started to feel the fever come on. And I was like, oh no. And so I was like, and so it was weird because my face was burning, my neck was burning, but my fingers and my toes were freezing. I don't know how that happened. So I was sitting there with my hands on my neck and on my face, cooling myself. And I was just like, am I hot? And he was like, well, you've got a little bit of a fever. And so I was grabbing his arms with my hands, trying to warm myself. And that was before I started like cooling myself. And he was just like, oh my God, why are you so cold? And I was like, I don't know. And he was like, are you cold? I was like, no, I'm hot. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I'm hot. And so every single time I touched him, I was freezing him, which is weird because he's like always like, oh, I'm so hot. So I'm like, okay, this should be cooling you off. Why are you freaking out? So I must have been really cold. My digits must have been really cold. And so he was like, well, here, cover yourself up. And I was like, but I'm hot. Why are you covering me up? I just told you I'm hot. So then I actually touched my face and was like, oh, that feels so much better. And so then after like 20 minutes of me like cooling myself with my own hands, I was like, do I still feel hot? And he was like, actually, you're more room temperature now. And I'm like, really? Because I still feel like I'm hot. And so then I got up, and I think I made a cup of tea. I remember having a cup of tea. And then I was freezing. I don't know what the hell was going on. Then I was freezing, and then he was like, no, your hands are warm. What the fuck? I have no idea what was going on with my body. I have no idea. That was just redunculous. I was like, this is stupid. I'm so glad this is over. So anyway, I fell asleep in his stomach. I remember him waking me up and my face was buried in his stomach. I didn't drool. But I was buried in his stomach. I was out. And so then he was like, babe, it's time to go to bed. And I was like, okay. So I got up. My arm was still like, and I was like, oh. But I hit the pillow and I was out. I do not believe I woke up at all to pee throughout the night, which is probably TMI, but it's okay. Y'all my people, y'all know. Y'all know how I do. So I don't think I woke up at all. But then I woke up at like 6:19, something like that. And I still felt like ass. So I was like, yeah, I can't. So I called in again, and everybody was like, it's okay, just feel better. Just come back when you're better. And I was just like, I will be back tomorrow. No ifs, ands, or buts. And they're like, no, don't push yourself. Just take the time that you need. I'm like, no. I will feel better by tomorrow. I will feel better. And today is tomorrow, so I feel so much better, as you guys can see. Anyway, so I woke up and I was so rested. I was like, oh! And I'm always having problems sleeping, as I've probably stated before. And so to actually get some sleep was fucking amazeballs. I wish I could actually sleep like that and not be sick. I wish I could do it, but I don't know. I have no freaking idea what the hell is wrong with me. I don't know. Because a lot of times when I wake up in the middle of the night to go pee, I'm like, I just can't go back to sleep. Because my brain is like, oh yeah, party time. And I'm like, no, it is not party time. And it's like, yes, it is. I'm like, no! Anyway, inner monologue. So, woke up. Matt was like, I woke up and he said, hey, the only job you have today, because I heard you on the phone, you called in. The only job you have today, you are to take a hot shower and you are to take naps. That's all you're allowed to do. If I come up those stairs from my office and see you fucking around, and of course he tries to be black. So he goes, I'm gonna smoke a blunt, I'm gonna drink a 40, and I'm gonna whip your ass. And so I looked at him and I said, yeah, I'd like to see that happen. And he's like, no, I'm serious. And then I'm gonna sick the dog on you. And I was like, whatever. So I fell asleep. And then I woke up and took a hot shower. And then I fell asleep again. And I didn't really have to worry about Bo getting all up in my grill, because guess where he was? Sleep right next to my ass. He was out. And I don't think I've ever seen my dog sleep that much in all the time that we've had him, except for the time where he was a puppy and he was asleep in my lap, and like, you know, Nick was poking him in the face talking about squirrel. So, I mean, I've never seen my dog sleep this much. So, I don't know. I think maybe like the serotonin, is that serotonin in my body, was just like seeping off to him, and he was just like, all right, fuck it, I'm out. So that was good. I didn't have to worry about screaming Bo, because then I also woke up Tuesday morning and I had no voice. I was just like, Bo, I don't know what was happening. I was just like, and so I told Matt straight up, and I said, I don't want you to get mad at me. And he was like, why are you talking like that? And I was just like, I don't know, I don't have a voice. So I was like, I don't want you to get mad if you ask me a question and I can't answer. You're going to just have to come real close because I can't yell. And he was like, okay. And he actually did. I was surprised. But anyway, so then yesterday I actually had like around like 3 o'clock, I started to actually feel better. And I was like, oh, and I had felt like nauseous throughout like yesterday. And I was just like, oh, is this going to be another one of those days? I hope like I don't like hit fever like 5 p.m. like yesterday. It was like, ugh. So, but no, I felt better. And so I had been planning to, you know, go to my sister's and like make this like chicken soup. This like diet chicken soup. What the hell is going on over here? Ooh. Road work in progress. Ooh. Sorry. I'm on Tomahawk Road right now, and it's like blah, 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 blah. It looks like a tire. Like the ground looks like a tire. So it's probably going to sound like blah, 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 blah for a minute. But anyway, so I actually did feel better. So I was planning to go to my sister's after work Tuesday and like make this like diet chicken soup. Like, you know, I had made this quiche and at my client's house because she had wanted to try this recipe that she had saw on YouTube. So I tried it, and then I made some for us, and it was good. It was good. Matt was like, oh no, it's cabbage. But I was like, well, cabbage is what is going to make you like lose weight, because it's like eating water. You know, they have cabbage soup for a reason. You just eat and eat and eat, and then you don't really gain a lot of weight because it's like water. So it's like drinking or eating watermelon. It's just water. So he's like, oh, I don't like cabbage. But you like Brussels sprouts. They're just mini cabbages. What are you talking about? I don't really like Brussels sprouts, but I will eat them. Especially if they're done right. How I do. Yeah. Anyway, so I was actually craving Brussels sprouts the other day and was like, but I'll never admit that to Matt. Because then he'll like be like, okay, let's get some. Oh, I don't actually want to make them. I just was craving them. But I think I'm actually getting more acclimated to Brussels sprouts. They just have to be cooked a certain way. They have to taste a certain way, because if they're tasteless, then that bitterness comes through, and I'm like, bleh, I'm going to throw up in my shoe. So, but anyway, getting back. So I made the soup, and what I did was I boiled chicken, and I added like garlic paste and like salt and like all these other spices to it. And I boiled it down, and then once the chicken was about to pretty much fall off the bone, that's what I did. I pulled all of the chicken off all the bones, and then I cut up some cabbage, a head of cabbage, and I threw that in there. I cut up like 4 potatoes, threw that in there. I got like a bag of those baby carrots, I threw those in there. I chopped up an onion and threw that in there, and I just let that shit cook. And when it cooked down, I added some like thyme or oregano or something to it, and a little bit more salt, because the cabbage had sucked up the salt that I put in there, that kosher salt. And I think I had like, you know, those little calamari tomatoes. I cut one of those in like 4, and then I cut it in another 4, and I threw that in there, and so it changed the color of it a little bit, and I left it. And then when it was done, I had me like a little ramekin full of it, and it was actually pretty slamming. I was like, so I took some to my client, since she's like, I want to lose weight. I'm like, okay, well, try this. This is a meal that, you know, you can just heat up, and it's soup, and it's like protein because of the chicken, and there's veggies because of everything else. So, oh my God, there's like a motorcycle like zooming up behind me, and he is flying. Oh, and then there's Popo. You better slow down, bro. Yeah, slow your ass down. Slow your roll. There's cops there. Is that an accident? Ooh. But anyway, so I made that soup, and then I'll leave pictures. I'll leave pictures. And then I made homemade pasta sauce, because we didn't have any. So I made some, you know, homemade spaghetti sauce from, you know, the tomatoes that we had lying around, and like some more garlic paste, onion. I threw that shit together, threw in some Italian seasoning, some olive oil, and some other spices, and boiled that shit down. Oh, woo, it was good. Oh. And then Matt was like, well, do these meatballs. So I did the meatballs, and those were done already. So I didn't actually do those, but I did make the sauce from scratch. And then I did the Alton's method of cooking pasta, which is you bring your water to a boil, add some salt. I don't add oil to mine. So you just add it to, bring it to a boil, throw your pasta in, stir it around once, turn it off, and leave it the fuck alone. And it cooked in like 15 minutes. Less than 15 minutes. So that gave the sauce a chance to like boil down and get like a lot of the like water and stuff that I had added to kind of gussy it along. It was good. It was so good. And then I made ghetto garlic garlic toast. We had some leftover like hot dog buns that we didn't want to go bad. So the ones with the slit on the top. So I just pulled them in half and I made some garlic butter and smeared them on there. I threw a little cheese on there with like some oregano or some thyme or something, and I toasted that shit. Oh, it was so good. Oh, damn, I'm good. I need to open up a restaurant. If any of y'all who have had my food, y'all can contest that or attest that I should probably open a restaurant. What y'all think? Yeah, I got too much on my plate. Maybe if somebody's like, hey, you want to come in and like cook once a week? Yeah, I'll do that. What's the menu? Oh, you make it yourself. Oh, concoctions, baby. Yeah, that's the best way to cook, is to just concoct your ass off. But anyway, okay, it's getting on to what, 30 minutes or something like that, and I'm about to be at my other job because, as you can see, the sun is like going down. So hopefully I can get in and get out, get my ass home so I don't have to eat too late. And yeah, so that was my day. That was my experience with, my vaccines, my vaccinations. And as you guys can see, I can raise my arm again, baby. Thank God that only lasted like a day. That was horrible. But as you can see, I'm all better. So I don't feel any different. So I mean, I've heard people, I was actually in the shade room yesterday when, while I was watching the George Floyd trial. I was also on the shade room, or in the shade room on Instagram, and there are so many people that was just like, I'm not going to take it. Oh, it messes up your DNA. It does this, it does that. I'm like, what are you talking about? Are you guys fucking crazy? What are you talking about? And it's like, over half of y'all heifers, especially if you're black. And I'm not, this is just an assumption, okay? But I would think that if you were black, 9 times out of 10, you got your vaccines when you were a kid for like polio and measles and all that stuff. And you're still fucking alive, okay? If it changed your DNA, you would not be the person you are now. So shut up. All you fools, anti-vaxxers. I understand that it's a scary thing. But fucking COVID is a scary thing, okay? Would you rather get vaccinated or get COVID and possibly have lingering effects from COVID for the rest of your life? I should play the Jeopardy tune right here, because this is some bullshit. But anyway, there was just so much negativity there. Oh, and Dr. Fauci was there. And so I was like, hi, Dr. Fauci! I was so excited. And so they were like, has anybody here gotten their shots? And it was like me and like 2 or 3 other people. Everybody else was like, no, we're not getting it. It's like, y'all are some fools. Stop it. Just, whatever. Just whatever. But anyway, yeah, I gotta get going. Yeah, I gotta get in there so I can get done. So, yeah, I will catch you happy people in the next one. So please stay social distance, stay safe, wear your mask, double up if you can, get vaccinated if you can. Even if you're scared, please just do it. It would be better to get it and have nothing bad happen than to not get it and then something bad happen to you. Just please get it. If you've gotten your measles, you're fine. Okay? It's a vaccine. Anyway, I love you guys, and I will catch you in the next one.